Good afternoon, everybody. I'll give it that minute to let people log on. Breaking world news. What a couple hours just getting up this afternoon. And the first bit of news for China, that is fresh. It's fresh. It's only 3 hours old. It's what happened in the United Nations today in the General Assembly. Crickets from our Canadian politicians. Trudeau, Toole, Singh, not a word to any of you. I got much more than that. I have much more to share to three groups: the anti-vaxxers, Canadians in general, and First Peoples. You guys got to see this, what's happening in Ethiopia, as I've switched up to that on invite from world-renowned experts who wish to get in to the UNSC, as I did. So I guess you don't really need a doctorate if you follow the world as it really is and you do the work. But it's unbelievable how many are coming forward. I even have great minds from Ukraine. We're actually going through a bunch of things right now, and I had the privilege of spending 2 days with Ukraine at about a year ago with their top legal minds in their institutions, and we spent many mornings. My time, 3 a.m. I got up for that world legal institutional presentation of all the best scholarly constitutional minds. And I got up for Ukraine. I got up for them for 2 straight days. I did 16-hour days on that, and they were really impressed. Hugh of Texas was really impressed. New York was really impressed. They couldn't believe, who's this guy? And I work hard. I do what needs to get done, but I see a lot of people are logged on now, so I'm going to get into it. So China runs a truce resolution for the Olympics 2022 winter, and of course the Paralympics. And guess what, everybody? 173 out of 193 nations vote China forward. They vote them forward. They're going to host the Olympics. Now, let's just stop and analyze things. So, last February, Canada, under O'Toole and Singh led opposition, vote China Uyghur Muslim boycott Beijing Olympics 2022. That's what they voted. They said, do it. That's what they wanted done. They want it. That's one nation, everybody. One. Then you have USA, you got New Zealand, you got Australia, and there's 2 others just in the Commonwealth. We're not going to get into the details of that, but 6 nations, okay? The entire EU Parliament, not the UN states themselves, the 27 countries under the EU Parliament vote to boycott too. Now that was last year, everybody. Well, now let's just add this up. 27 countries plus 6. That's 33 minus 193 means 160 nations. Unfortunately, the vote is 173 nations. 13 more than those organizations, those institutions. I don't know who voted what this time around. It's fresh 2 hours ago. But I promise you, Zhang Shan will be giving me that tomorrow. I'll get that tomorrow. And I'll have that for all of you first. Now, again, you won't find this in any Canadian or North American media. None whatsoever. So what happened to make half of those nations vote the other way? What happened? Where's the mighty O'Toole and his massive Canadian military force that he's going to summons to defeat China? Where is it? It's called a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Half the allies, half the ally countries have already gone the other way. Which ones, I guess we'll see. This is the joke that is Canada, the crown of Canada, and our ties to the United Kingdom, specifically the royal family, and our dirty, filthy, ignorant, low-life, degenerate, first-class politicians. They take you Canadians and browbeat you all over the world. Sacrifice everything you have in trade and economics in a rationale that isn't justified by a whopping majority of the world, meaning our narratives here in Canada are absolutely bullshit. Bullshit. Now people can say, oh no, China's evil, blah, blah, blah. If they're so evil, why is 85% of the world voting their things through? What's making them do that? What is it they're all in knowledge of that we are not in knowledge of? Well, I can tell you, it starts in our Constitution, right in the preamble, where we absolutely give up all of our sovereignty, as we always have. We're polluted, we're diluted, we're institutionalized. Now moving on from that, Russia's sent me a pile. I'm getting first-hand, direct from Dmitry Polanski on Twitter, who is the UNSC rep for Russia, deputy. Every UNSC permanent gets 2. We've been in contact for a long time. Dimitri's trained me, taught me a lot from the Russian narrative. I've learned much of Russia on my own. I can't speak Russian, but I've dissected their language to translate it properly to my native tongue, English, as I do every country in the world, even the United States, under its definitions, in their definitions posted by their dictionaries. I went painfully through Russia to make sure, as I tore apart that institution, the Federation of Russia, that institution, to make sure I defined it correctly. And so far, I'm doing a phenomenal job with the UNSC P5. I understand the Chinese as well as I need to, and I translate them into English as they're supposed to be done. That took a lot of years to get there. I'm a monolinguist, but I'm able to get that work done because I respect the idea that they have their own dictionaries, and I must use their definitions to same nouns or even differing nouns and put them together through association and comparative. That's what I do. It takes a long time and a lot of work, but I get the job done, and I'm proving myself on the world stage as more and more of the top legal minds in this world keep coming to me. Which brings me further on Russia. I have lots to share with you, and a message from Ethiopia through Russia with followers in the millions. Went through it on Facebook. Just unbelievable. And they're in full civil war. Everybody, 110 million people in the country of Ethiopia are in full-fledged civil war. 4 regions, really. There are 11 regions, 2 cities. For those who took the time to watch my video and listen to the song, I know a lot didn't. Russia's now expanding their demands of me. It will be Omicron and Delta variant. We're not there yet. I want to get the 85 regional constitutions of Russia absolutely translated in English. I want to bring that back to Canada and the United States of America. I want to be the first Westerner to do that. For that, I need to, by the sounds of it, I'm going to have to be injected with Omicron and the Delta variant with my body, with my 2 shots of Pfizer, taking the Sputnik Light booster. It looks like I'm going to have to do the Pfizer booster too. I'm going to have to work through that through the Russian pharmaceutical company. We're trying to make a deal. I can't afford to get those 85 constitutions translated. I'll never have the money. I'm not in that class. I'm not a rich man. There's no way I'll get the donations together. We don't have the time, and I need them. So I'm going to make that deal with the Russian pharmaceutical company through the UNSC of Russia. I'm going to try and get that done. But it's going to require me being injected with Delta and Omicron. So that's what I have to face, and I don't care. I'll do it. I look at it, it's a worthwhile thing to get done. I'm a regionalist and I have to move forward. I got to move Canadians forward, our party forward, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Further from that, what's really important here, the big message. So Dmitry Polanski puts on a link to Facebook and a profile of a Civil War conscript who's got a following of millions on Facebook. Old stock Ethiopian in the government today, joining the government. So Canadians, this is for all of you First Peoples and absolutely anti-vaxxers, because they take swipes at all three of you, not just Canadians, but it's in your narrative. Old stock Canadians, those who immigrated a long time ago, especially that rural Canadian, old stock Canadian, Ethiopians have it too. Completely pushed aside, many got rubbed out in full genocide. Not your silly narratives of COVID-19 as they literally laugh at you as tens of thousands are being genocided. Their message is clear. We're a joke. We're a joke. And they have, in way higher numbers, genocide of their real, true First Peoples, genocide of their real, true, old stock Ethiopians, those rural Ethiopians. And they absolutely laugh at anti-vaxxers and COVID narratives of the USA governments, Canadian governments, a lot in the Commonwealth, as they're literally fighting tooth and nail in what is 4 regions, but they're broken down into 11. A complete war of religion. Christianity versus Christianity, Christianity versus Muslim, and Christianity versus absolutely the indigenous Ethiopian, the actual First Peoples Ethiopia, as well as Christian versus old stock Ethiopian, the rural farmer, which they've been killing by the boatloads for a number of years now. They are way further along in assimilation by about 1,400 years than Canada, the institutionalization. Russia's not going to interfere in the Civil War. Neither is the United States of America, UK, France, or China. It's a full-on civil war that will rage, and they will not interfere, because if anyone takes the time to read the UN Charter of 1945 and the Declaration of Human Rights 1948, Civil War is granted, absolutely granted, to citizens when their governments fail them. And understand this, everybody, those old stock rural Ethiopians are the Christians and the Muslims fighting the much larger city-sized Ethiopian in the new narratives, the assimilated narratives, way further along than Canada, again by 1,300 years. The First Peoples of Canada, imagine Canada, I've talked about this before, had a population 3 times the size of it is now, like the Philippines or Ethiopia. Imagine that. You're gonna get wiped out. If you don't believe me, look at Ethiopia. And you rural Canadians, try getting your lands dried right up, because they block entire lakes and build hydro dams in the name of the Green New Deal and starve you right out. And then they go to people like Elon Musk through the General Assembly. The government demands that Elon Musk turn over billions of dollars to help these people starving when it's the government and the majority of nut jobs that are killing them. Canadians have no clue. They're all laughing at you as they sign up to serve their country and fight in the Civil War. The too gay and the government. And really, when you look at it, it's old stock versus new administrative government rule. That's really what it's all about. In the narrative of three religions against the First Peoples and the old stock Ethiopian. And they're all assimilated in religion. All assimilated in three religions of this world. And you want to tell me Christian beliefs or Muslim beliefs? It's a joke. And anyone who's not watching this, you should watch right now. You should wake up. Anti-vax, you have no case of genocide, none whatsoever. It's silly, it's embarrassing, and people are laughing at you all over the world, including the UNSC. And if you don't got them, you got nothing. Sorry. And First Peoples, get to work hard. Get to work hard. You got till June 28th, 2022. I am your last and only fight on the world stage. And if we don't report, if Indigenous people, that means the chiefs, because if we can't get Governor General and the National Chief, it's up to the chiefs or the individual band councils themselves. But I am limited on resources. I am but a lowly third-class citizen. I can set up the dominoes, but I can't pay for it, and I can't get across Canada for everybody. It's 3,000 reserves when you include unceded. I'll never get it done. What about the Arctic? That's an impossible, highly costly adventure. If Indigenous leaders really cared, they would get it done. It's not about me, it's about you and your children and their future. That's my video. Old stock Canadians, wake up. Second and third class, wake up. This is your future, and coming faster than you really think. And anti-vaxxers, get off the crazy. I've been busily getting rid of many of you from my Facebook. 300 today in friend requests and in outstanding for friends. Adding about 40 more, but it's a huge undertaking. I literally got to go through thousands of profiles. Not a fun task to go through every day, but it's got to be done because there's a real narrative to get through, not a bunch of bullshit and really spoiled, stupid narratives that are inspired by the crown. That's reality. Spoiled citizens trying to live again within the crown, talking about that's the rest of the world. The rest of the world's laughing at y'all. That's reality. And that was given to me by the top international representative of Russia directly. And I have the top legal mind of Africa, top 10, 750 million people. This guy is in the top 10 who wants to work on the Ethiopia, who's going to be working on the Ethiopian constitution post this massive civil war. You know what? I don't know any other Canadian that can boast the same. You all think about it, share the video, get it out there, but start to look at things as they are, not what you want it to be. Because that is the silliest, stupidest thing anyone can do. And you're getting laughed at all over the world. Your politicians are a bloody joke, and everybody sees it for what it is. I mean, it's not just Canada. There's quite a few others, but it's less than 20. I don't want to be one of those countries who's ranked in of the stupidest peoples of the world. We brag about our first-class world with the least amount of property available to the citizens thereof. We're a laughingstock. Wake up. That's my video. Bye now.